Hi there, my name is iTeacher and I was hoping to show you some of the basic features of Evernote on the iPad and Mac Air, because the two systems look very different. Firstly, take a look at the Evernote logo beside me, which is an elephant for some strange reason, possibly because the creators of this resource are fans of African mammals, perhaps not. Let's move on. Here are some learning intentions for this video. Firstly, we are going to look at Evernote on the iPad, and then we are going to look at Evernote on the Mac Air. For both of these examples, we are going to look at Evernote from the teacher's perspective, because I believe that if you understanding it from your end, you will be able to understand the students' Evernote accounts as well. Super duper, let's move forward. Here we see the iPad interface for Evernote. Let's look at some of the basic features. This is where all of your recent notes will appear in case you wish to access them. Simply click on the box to select the note. It is interesting to see that the recent notes uploaded by my students are also shown. This button here is possibly the most important. If we press this, we can add a note. This button here allows us to take a photo, which is added as a note. You may find this useful for taking pictures of students' work. This third button will allow us to scan a document into a note. Personally, I don't see much of a difference between this and the camera button, even though the developers claim that it detects and highlights the text on a written page. Again, this could be useful for recording students' work. These files are a bit like the main menu. They are arranged to look like the files in a filing cabinet. They give us 6 different ways to surf through our notes. Because we are just beginners, I would like to focus on one main way for now. That is to click on the Notebooks tab. When you select Notebooks, you will be taken to a menu that looks a bit like this. My school has chosen to use Evernote Business, which is an upgraded form of Evernote, to create individual students' files. I have blurred out some of the folder names because you will probably not have them on your Evernote, also, for privacy reasons and also because I wanted to show off that I have learned to use the blurring function for photos. For now, I would like for us to focus on the 2 different types of notebook we have here. The teacher notebook and the student notebooks. Put simply, the teacher notebook is a way for you to share information with the students. The student notebook is the place where they will upload their work on their iPad and we will be able to see it by accessing it here. We are also able to comment on their work from here thanks to Evernote Business. You can tell that the notebook is shared with someone else by this emblem here. If it does not have that emblem, then that notebook is limited to being on that iPad only. If we click on the teacher notebook, we are taken to this menu here. From here I can add a note by clicking on the plus sign in the top right-hand corner. This will create a note that will be shared with all of my students. This is the best way to set a task for them. If I want to go back, I simply click on the button in the top left-hand corner that says Notebooks, to go back to the previous menu. If I have selected one of the student notebooks, I would be taken to a menu that looks a bit like this. I can see the students' work as they create a note for each piece. As I previously mentioned, I can go into the students' individual notes and make comments, which is a feature of Evernote Business and I have found very useful for giving feedback. When I decide to make a new note, either from the main menu, or by pressing the plus sign when I am in a notebook, I will be taken to this screen. As you can see, we have a space to add a title and a space to add content. The key details are about the symbols in the top right-hand corner. First, we can take a photo. For example, I can ask my students to take a photo of a graph they have made in their books. Secondly, I can add a photo that I have already taken. This is useful if you want to show work from other apps like Screenshot or Explain Everything. Thirdly, I have the option to add a recording. This way, I can get a student to record the learning which can go with a picture. The most obvious way, however, is to simply type some text into the note. You can also copy and paste some text from another app. I would suggest doing this for writing tasks that may have been done on the app pages. Okay. I think that is about all we need to know about the iPad interface for now. Let's take a quick look at the same features of Evernote on the Mac Air computer. So here we are on my computer. We have two options from here to access Evernote. I could access it through the internet by signing in, or I can open the program that I have downloaded onto my computer. I prefer to use the program on my computer because I find it easier to use. As you can see, I have navigated to it by searching for it in the search function in the top right-hand corner. This is the main menu that comes up when you open Evernote. Keep in mind that when you come on here for the first time, you will be asked to complete a tutorial which looks a bit different. It is obviously very different in appearance to the iPad, but have no fear, the same features are easy to locate, you just need to know where to look. Here are the recent notes linked to my Evernote account. Notice that in this version they are not picture boxes, just the note titles. Click on a title to view the note. This is where you go to create a new note. The scrolling tab on the right allows you to choose which notebook you are going to write a note into. These 6 tabs on the left-hand side again shows us those 6 different notes. Just like we did with the iPad, let's focus on using the Notebooks tab to navigate our notes. After selecting the Notebook tab, we are taken to this menu, which is hopefully a bit familiar. Again, we can see the teacher notebook to share information and tasks with students. We can also see the student notebooks for them to complete tasks and share their learning with us. Now let's look at the teacher notebook again. Here we can see the same notebooks as before. Also, please note that on the right-hand side, I have started to create a new note with the same sections to write a title and add content. This will then be shared with the students. If I switch to one of the student notebooks, we can see the notes in the central window and the most recent note on the right-hand side. Again, as a teacher, you are able to add your own comments to these notes as feedback. So, hopefully this has given you a good insight into the differences between Evernote on the iPad and on the Mac Air. I have found the use of Evernote for sharing between teachers and students to be very successful. So for now, goodbye from me. Good luck with the reports, my friends. I don't have to do them myself because I am not a real person, just lots and lots of pixels. Sucks to be me, I guess. Thanks for watching.